Hello, and welcome to this episode of Fibre Mates. My name is Gay. I'm a technical editor of knitwear designs based in Melbourne, and this is my podcast where I interview lovely people in the Australian knitting community or fibre community, such as the woman sitting next to me, who is the amazing Sarah O'Halloran, the proprietor of Bombed Yarns. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Oh, thanks for having me. How convenient it was.
Yeah. I'm so excited that we could catch up today. Before I go any further, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're recording, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. Just again, thank you for stopping on your way through town. It's been super convenient and amazing that we could catch up because you're based in Tasmania, right?
Yes, yeah.
Whereabouts?
I'm from Hobart.
Okay.
So based in Hobart, yeah.
So we do some lightning round questions, usually a little bit to warm up.
Mm-hmm.
To warm up for the
Sounds
main
good.
questions. All
Let's do
right,
it.
you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So the first question. Sorry, this is a trigger. I know, right? Dogs or cats?
That's a hard one. I've got both.
Oh, 50-50.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think so. Depending what I like out of each of them. It's different.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And the question is binary. There's no like option for both, but I suppose you could always just say both.
Yeah, we'll go both.
Okay. What's your favorite color?
That is a hard one. A lot of people ask me that. I tend to go to blues when I'm choosing what to knit for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a bit of greens when I'm choosing clothes. But it's not like I think, oh, that's my favorite color. I really love the indigo blue because I dye with indigo. I really love that tone.
Do you dye with indigo like the
true plant indigo. I've grown it and everything. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Maybe we'll have to talk about that
Okay.
in a little bit. Top down in the round or flat and seamed?
Oh, that's easy. Top down the round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Sorry, not sorry.
Same. I know. Seamed. I don't even think my first sweater was seamed. I might have never made a seamed garment.
I don't think I've done a seamed one either. No. I sort of came in the industry when most patterns were, I was able to.
I have done some seaming of like, I made this Ruana kind of like poncho thing that needed some seaming. So I've done it, but I don't think I've done a full garment.
No. Like I wanted to do an emotional support chicken, but I found out it was seamed. So I was like,
Have you seen mine? Should I go get it? It's right here. I don't think she's ever...
I will do it. Maybe that needs to be my aim for Bendigo.
She's never been on the show, so...
Oh.
This one, my mom made it for me and sent it to me.
So you didn't see
for Christmas.
it.
I didn't see it.
Oh, that's so cool.
My Henrietta. She's got a little shawl in my favorite color.
Oh.
Pink?
Yeah.
There. We've got her. Anyway.
She's cute.
Sorry, we have one more lightning round question, which is this. It's my favorite lightning round question. If you were a knitting stitch, what stitch would you be?
Wow. Right, to be quick, thinking maybe knit two together because I'm a person who likes to be with people.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that's,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as much of a fan of pearl, but I like pearl because we can make beautiful things with it.
That's
So
right.
yeah, knit together.
All right, I like that. I think I would be brioche. I'm like a
All right.
slip one yarn over.
Not sure we can be friends. I got one color brioche. I'm working on my two color brioche at the moment.
Amazing. Awesome.
Yeah. I'll get there. I'm
You
determined.
will. You will.
Seaming two color brioche.
Yep.
I should form a club.
I was about to say, I'll do your brioche if you do my seaming, but that might not work.
True. Oh no. Yeah, one at a time.
All right, so let's talk about bombed yarns.
Okay.
First question is, how did you come up with the name? Like, where did that come from?
Okay, so you know when you start, Bomb Gowns was originally started for a bit of fun. And then when we decided we had too much yarn, we thought, well, we need to come up with a name and when we're going to open our Etsy shop.
Yeah.
And we wanted a name that people understand what we're doing, so not something obscure. But a lot of names are already taken.
Yeah.
So you don't really kind of want to step on other people's toes. And then we came across the thought of, well, there's yarn bombing that happens, and you know, yarn bombing, the intention is to colour public spaces, you know, with large patches of knitted or crocheted items. So we thought, well, that's colouring bland spaces, and what we're doing is colouring yarn. So we kind of swapped it on that and bombed yarns. We kind of expected more people to get the concept than actually has been.
Well, now everybody knows.
Yes. So yeah, 8 years almost. Bombed yarns.
You heard it here first.
So that's how, that was how the name came about, because we wanted something fun and yarny related, fibre related. Yes, so that's how we came up with that.
Yeah.
And it was funny because it was at the, well, it's not funny, it was at the time where the Iraq War was happening, and my girlfriend's husband said, is that really, you know, bombed and all that? And we were like, yeah, it should be fine. It never seemed to be an issue. Yeah.
And now we know it's just about associated with yarn bombing and that really,
Yeah.
really fun
Yes.
community event,
Yes.
right? That's,
Yeah.
there you go, like
Yeah.
getting people together.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah.
But then, can you give us a bit of a history about how you came to be a yarn dyer? How did you have so much yarn?
Okay, so being from Hobart, and particularly Hobart 10, 15, 20 years ago, what we could get yarn-wise was really, really limited and very just not exciting for me, particularly because we would get these magazines, yarn magazines from the States, and then I'm going, oh my gosh, there's all these other things that exist and we can't get our hands on them. And you know, internet really wasn't a thing back then either. And we have 2 yarn shops, but they just weren't catering at all to that side of yarn. And I get it too, because to get that sort of supply would have been quite hard at that time. And then we had a shop open up, Penny ran it, and it was, I remember walking in the first time and I just felt like, you know, Jacob's Ladder and the light comes down. I was like, no! And I loved her shop. And that's what really inspired me to really get into more knitting. And then because of all the options that she gave, I was starting to think, well, what about this? And what about we have this colour and then this colour and we did that pattern? And what about, wouldn't it be nice if this happened? And she would share things that she's discovered too, products that are hard to get or whatever. And so I sort of thought, well, I wonder if I can dye it, and tried dyeing it. And that kind of just went from there. Yeah, and kind of went from there. And the girlfriend who was with me originally said, oh, do you mind teaching me? Because I'd love to do some of the things you're doing. And I from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one. Actually, I'm going to pause there. Do you have like a particular background in art or business or just a passionate, sorry, I don't mean to say, I hate that word. I take it out of my vocabulary as much as I can. The word just, like it's just so it's just so minimizing.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
Or should. Yes.
Should is another word that should definitely come out of the vocab.
I would like to.
Let's take it out of the dictionary.
Absolutely. So crafty background. I have always been crafty since a child. I remember at the age, I think I might have been 5 or 8, I saw this cross stitch set, and I remember saying to my mum, oh, can you buy that for me? And she's like, no. And I know she was saying no, probably because she was thinking this is going to be another crafty thing that Sarah's going to pick up and then not finish. Hello.
I will admit to having a cross stitch that has been in process for probably Well, longer than I've been married to my current husband.
Well, I finished this one, and Mum
well
framed
done.
it. Yeah, and Mum framed it, and I still have it. It's in our bedroom. And I look at it, and I always remember that incident when Mum said no. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
And
think.
we laugh about it now.
Can I just say, if anyone wants to finish this cross stitch, can you please DM me and I will happily send it to you.
I have been known to give a few cross stitch projects that I've
I can't.
to friends who want to finish.
I actually can't see the linen anymore.
Oh
Like,
yes,
it's
yes,
just a real
it's getting
problem.
fine. Yeah, I hear you.
Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, get it. So yeah, I kind of always just really enjoyed it. And Mum tells me about all the things she used to do before she had me.
Yeah.
But I haven't. Yeah, I have no remembrance of Mum doing crafty type stuff. But apparently, she used to dye fabric, and she used to sell it when they lived in Canada for a little while. When Dad was at the university there, apparently
Yeah.
she used to dye fabric and sell it at the markets there with a friend.
Oh, fun.
And there's all these things that she used to do.
Because our parents are actually people with like personalities,
Yes,
right?
yeah. But of course, when I came along, she absorbed in me totally, right? And gave me all her craft. Yeah.
When did you sorry, I just haven't asked that question very well. When did you learn how to knit?
Again, I have a memory of asking my mum. I was about 8 to 10, and I was trying to work out how to cast on. Of course, we didn't have the internet back then. We
Yeah.
had very little books, and I was trying to work out how to do it. I was getting really frustrated. I went to the library, and I remember going up to Mum and saying, "Mum, can you please cast on?" And again, she'll be so upset to hear this. I recall her saying, "Just wait when I finish doing this," and it never happened.
Oh,
And I
dear.
eventually, she'd be like, "Sarah, you're making me sound terrible." But yeah, so from then on, I dabbled, and
Yeah.
I really liked it. And I'm really kind of sad that I didn't passionately get into it from a younger age, because I think it would have been really helpful for me as a teenager when I went to boarding school.
Mm-hmm.
And all that time, and Dad was unwell.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been a really therapeutic. Yeah, I really regret that it wasn't more part of my life. It was in and out, and bits and pieces.
It tends to get us through like really stressful times,
Yes,
doesn't it?
absolutely. I think for me, part of it was I didn't have access to people who could share information, let alone books or the internet.
That's really
we have now.
revolutionized the way we
Yes.
learn how to
Yes.
craft now.
Yeah.
The internet, YouTube, like, and
I still love face-to-face. As much as I appreciate what the internet gives us, for me, having a class organised and going to it, I do heaps better.
I like that for like particular techniques. So like when Alex Bird came and we did the Rusimony
Yes.
class, like that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you hosted Alex. Did you host Alex?
She didn't come to Tassie.
No.
Yeah.
But
It
Mary
was a
Jane.
time.
It was Mary Jane,
Yeah,
right?
Mary Jane
because
did,
I took
yeah.
that class too. That was great.
Yeah.
In Fair Isle.
Yeah. Hopefully Alex will come back to Australia. I reckon she would. Everyone loved her.
She was really a great
I
teacher.
heard. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to rub it in.
No, you're allowed to. And we met up properly when I went to Vogue Knitting Live, and we were
Yes,
there.
yes.
And she was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah. And she and I are collaborating with the Yarn Sock Club.
Yes.
So she's really, yeah.
All right, where are we? Let's get
I
back
was
on
gonna
track.
say,
'Cause I was just about to talk about the Yarn Sock Club because that was so much fun when creating that pattern for you.
Yeah.
And really...
Is that your first dive into being a designer?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well done.
it
I'm doing
was.
it with Susanna. Perfect.
Well,
it was a great team.
I was never going to do it on my own, right? I just don't have the graphic design skills.
So does that mean I have ideas and I can say, here, can you work out how to do it?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I actually can do ghost writing of patterns. So
Oh, no, that can't be a ghost.
no, if you give me a sketch or a concept or a sample, I can
I can tell you
work
there's
it out.
so many people who do, but just that you know, that next step of saying, who can do this?
I can write it. I can't make it look pretty. Like Susanna's patterns
make it happen.
are so well laid out, right? And
Yeah.
the graphics
She's
and
had
the placement of the photographs, has that design background, right? That I don't have. And like, if I was going to do a pattern, I'd sit down with Canva and be like, oh, okay, let's put that box there. And that, like, it would just take forever. I'm not there yet, and I just don't have the time to invest, but ghost writing
it's a thing.
Like,
oh, okay, there you go.
Anyway,
so those of you out there who've been with ideas, because a lot of you share your ideas with me.
well, I don't know, I feel like we should be also developing our design talent in Australia, which is why I do free tech editing for first-time designers,
which is really generous. Really generous.
Thank you.
I don't think people appreciate, especially with me doing the sock club, I don't think people appreciate how much work is behind designing, let alone tech editing. And now that I've supported a few people through that, my respect has always been there, but it's even greater now.
There's a lot to it.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, sorry, we'll get back on track now. More about bombed yarns.
Oh, that's all right.
I like this question.
Yeah.
This is the question that I liked before, and now I still like it. What does a day in the life of Sarah look like?
Which day?
We'll say a typical day. Is there a typical day?
I guess there's a general 2 type days I have, because I have the studio open from 10 to 2 on Tuesday and Thursdays. So it's a studio, it's not a shop. And so days when people are coming to visit, I tend to, I'm usually there, I'm there early to make sure everything's right, tidy some areas up, because, work can get spread around, and plan what I'm going to do between times when people come. And some days can be really quiet, you can't predict it. Some days, Hillary, who helps me out, and I both go, oh my gosh, when it's 2 o'clock, okay, we didn't achieve anything that we intended on our list, but that's okay, because we supported a lot of people. And that's really nice. I really love helping people work through the patterns and understanding why you choose this yarn and not that yarn. It's really enabling them to be learners, but also to produce something really successful, rather than, because the number of times I'm sure we've all knitted a garment and gone, it's too big, too small. We would have really appreciated those support and lessons to avoid these problems.
Definitely. The Rwana that I was talking about that is seamed, right? Started out as hip length, and now it's like shin length. Because the yarn has grown so much. Yeah. Someone called, one of my friends one time saw me wearing it and called it my bathrobe.
Oh, God. Might be, give it a little bit of felting or something, see where you go.
Not sure. We'll see. Anyway, I love it.
I
still love it.
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other day would be basically arriving and planning my dyeing session and what I want to dye, and what I want to achieve in that day, and dyeing, and while I have the gaps, dealing with any admin, because admin is huge in our role. It's much bigger than I wish it to be, but it's important because I like to be a communicator, and I like to give people the time that they deserve. Yeah.
Fantastic. You have an amazing array of colors.
Oh, thank you. That really means a lot.
I was on your website yesterday, the day before, I think, just stalking, because I'm looking for colors for my Bendigo project, although I may have landed on some stash yarn, which is...
Good idea. I'm always encouraging stash busting.
But I was just really impressed with the variety of colors, and both tonals and variegateds. So you have fancier color layering, but also really complex solids. And we don't get a lot. Not all designers produce such a solid line of solids.
It's I hear you regularly as a regular thing. I've got more colours that I've done, but I made the choice to pull some of into the colour inspiration hub, I call it, on the website, because I was really concerned that I might overwhelm people. But do you think that I could actually put them there, or will I overwhelm people, or should I be swapping them around? I don't know.
That's interesting because I missed the color hub on the website. I went like directly to
A
shop.
lot of people do
now.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be a good idea. All right, we can put it to the universe.
Yes.
If you think all the colors should be in the shop category on Sarah's website, can you put it, or if the color hub is a better place for them, what do you think? Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Let's see what people think.
Yeah, because I just don't want to overwhelm people, but I also want to show them. I mean, there's some colours I don't want to repeat because the amount of work in them is just way too much. A couple of colours there's 9 steps of colours to add. Another one I counted 7, and quite a few that were 5. And just to do those, I need to do them in large batches to justify just the time and the effort to do them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've quietly sort of removed them for that reason.
Yeah.
But there's one colour that I haven't been able to move. I say peanut just to annoy people. Peanut on the carpet.
I love that color. I know it.
I
saw
keep trying to remove it, and then people keep saying, "Oh, can you?" I'm like, "Oh, damn it, okay." Because it's just so, it's got its own personality.
It is like the most complex. If I can get a, I'll try and do a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
And put it in here because it is a beautiful color.
Oh, which option? Because it likes to do its own thing.
It's hard to one of those ones that's hard to replicate.
Yeah, and I'll dye it exactly the same. I'll do everything exactly the same, and I've been generally getting about 3 or 4 different variations.
Okay.
Go figure. So I have learned to say to people, look, you're just going to have to accept what you get. That is just peanut on the carpet.
Yeah.
But I do have some people who really like the certain tone of it, and I can't help myself but redye until I get it. But I'm going to have to really start putting my foot down a bit about it, I think.
Because it can be, from what I hear from other dyers that I've talked to, the process to do the dyeing can be pretty intense.
It is, yeah, it is. Yeah, especially when they require time and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, while we're on it, can we talk about process? I don't want you to give away any trade secrets that you might have. I'm sure that some people might be quite sensitive about their process and how they dye it. But what is...
I'm not, actually.
What does that even look like? If we were to see you dyeing yarn, what would we see?
What people would see is probably a bit more an overall thing than what I know I'm doing. So they'll see me in front of a bain-marie, who's known as Marie, that has water in it and has yarn in it, and some of them may be coloured, some may not be coloured, some may be sitting with lots of water, some may be very little water, depending what I'm dyeing on the day and depending what yarn base is going in as well. Yeah, they might see me pouring colour in it or speckling colour. So that's sort of what's going on is a bit more.
Do they bake? Then they sit in the bain-marie, so they
I need to heat up wool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anyone's covered why, but you need to heat wool up for the colour to be taken on.
I don't know if we actually know why. Do you know why?
Yeah. So wool is made of fibres. Each fibre, each strand, I guess if you want to call it, has scales. That is what makes wool. It's kind of like fish scales, I guess, and they're overlapping each other all the way along. And what makes wool felt is that those scales, when it's heated up, opens up, and then they rub against all the other scales of all the other wood, and that's what makes it felt. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to open up the scales to encourage the colour to go in, to be absorbed. Yeah. So if you have a non-superwash, because of the processes, depending where people get their non-superwash from, the colour is absorbed a lot quicker, because you don't need to heat, you still need to heat, but the where the colour goes to is more direct. Again, it depends which superwash process is used. Yeah.
Oh, and that's why superwash can tend to look a bit more brighter than non-superwash.
Yes.
Even with the same dye batch. Yeah. Yes. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, that kind of leads us on to bases, right? How do you what bases are you loving now, and how do you pick them? Because is there a lot to choose from?
Yes, there are, and that's part of the problem. So I guess I've got a set base that people are familiar with me. That's sort of my sock and my 4-ply and my 8-ply. And that's the ones that I regularly use. I do bring other bases in for different reasons. For example, like with the Yarn Sock Club, we're doing a different one each month to experiment and try.
Oh, that's
different.
fun.
Yeah, it is. It's really helpful.
Can I pause you just there? Are there openings for this sock club?
No, there's no openings. Yeah, so whenever there is, I put it up.
Okay.
But people find it, and then I don't say anything because I just think,
keep your eye on the internet.
Yeah. So I do bring other bases in, and it's a real dilemma when you build a reputation on the bases that you have, because people really like them. And then I think, I'd really love to introduce this base. It'll look the same as this one. It's the same fibre, it's a different fibre. It'll look the same, but as a knit up, it's different. So, it's a challenge, because I think also because of the bases a lot of the dyes in Australia use, I kind of don't want to step on toes, and I also want to respect that's what they do. And I've been encouraged, for example, Corinna from Louis and Lola, she said to me, you need to get Merino Possum, everyone loves it, do it. And I said, well, no, that's your base. That's the base that everyone knows you about. And it would be so wrong if I did it as well, even though she said to me, you must do it.
Yeah.
And, was supporting me too. So it's a hard one, because I still regularly think I would like to add another different type of sock base that's like a BFL, because BFL knits up differently than the merino.
Right. Does BFL tend to be spun a bit tighter as well, or?
No, you can get two types. Well, depending which supplier people go to, but you can get BFL that's spun like my sock yarn, or you can get one that's a high twist.
Yeah, I think I've only seen the high twist one.
Yeah, that's the more popular one, because it has a real stitch definition. Yeah. And
then, actually, I'm going to ask you another base. Do you do any fluffies? Any fluffy yarns?
I have, yes. Because kid merino, whenever I wear it, I find myself getting really itchy.
Yes.
My fluffy version has been the alpaca silk.
Love that.
Yeah, which is a gorgeous, and that's what I've done some of my garments in. I don't hold it regularly. There's no reason why. I think mainly for shows or for events I'll get more in and dye some up. It's just, what do I dye? What base do I? It's that constant, balance.
Yeah. No, I can see that, because you want it to be complementary, right, to your other colors, but you never know.
Yes.
But
I love that. Want.
Yeah, I love the alpaca, the Surrey silk blend. That's I've got a bit of that upstairs in my stash.
Of course.
You were talking about Corinna from Louis and Lola.
Yeah.
We've got an amazing community of dyers.
Yeah.
So, who are some of your favorite?
I'll be in trouble if I said.
I'll
be in so much trouble.
Who do you kind of look up to, or whose colors really resonate and inspire you?
Yeah. Do I want to admit about who I look up to?
Yes. Because we are all in this community together.
Yeah,
right?
No, we are. So I've just come back from the Australian Yarn Show, so that's why I've been able to come through and see Gay. Yeah. And so the beauty about these shows is being able to actually visually see other creators' yarns and the colours, and I have so much respect for them, because I think wow, they were able to see those colours go together, and they knew how to ratio-wise it on their yarn to make it look so beautiful, and to know how, and then it will knit up beautifully. So I don't have any particular favourites. I really, truly respect all of our dyers. And I think also the award that Corinna was given at the Australian Yarn Show, she was given an extra award too, because of what she's done for the Australian breastfeeding
industry.
Pick up my midwifery here. The breast cancer fundraiser.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have always respected Corinna, and also because she's in the same state as me.
Yeah.
We're good friends, and we support each other, and she treats me the same as her. There's no I'm better than you thing. She's always been so lovely. And I'll constantly I'm thinking, how does she do it? You know, how does she do everything she does? And she knows that because I've told her. But I respect all of our dyers and all what they do, and there is not a single dyer out there that has, in Australia, that I haven't met or haven't communicated with, that I've been surprised or shocked by anything. I've just been, that all have been so lovely and supportive. And that's something I've always made a conscious effort to do from when I started to dye, was I didn't want people to think I was stepping on their toes, because we've lost a lot of dyers since I've started. And I wanted us all to be a team. We're a small industry.
It is.
And we're better off supporting each other and, you know, caring for each other, which we definitely do. The dyers do. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Whether you're a small little hobby one or trying to make a wage. Yeah. So I'm not going to...
I love it.
Yeah. And I met a few at AYS, and it was really nice to meet them face to face.
Yeah.
And see their work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we go back to that? Because you
Sure.
mentioned something about the ratio of the dye on the skein. Can you talk a little bit to that and what that means for, like, when you're looking at a hand-dyed skein?
Yeah, so when you get colours together, sometimes it's, I mean, again, it depends what look you're trying to achieve. But I don't think, there may be a science in this, and there may even be an algorithm or something that I haven't come across. But I just notice when I see something that really appeals to me, I notice a lot of that is about how much colour is in the image that I'm seeing. I think really plays why it's better than, say, if this colour, they were all the same colour. So when I talk about ratio, I mean when you visually look at something, having more of this colour and less of this colour to that colour, it just has a better balance and a better appeal when they're all together. I've never dyed with, you know, say 1 gram of this, 1 gram of that, and 1 gram of that, and that's it, that's the colour. It doesn't work for me like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by ratio.
So looking for a skein that has a good balance or integration of all the different colors, or
yeah, but it may have, just throwing it out there doesn't mean it's going to work. But I'm going to be inspired by what I see here in front of me. So a skein of yarn, there's a lot of red in this.
Yeah.
You can't see what there's a lot of red in this. So
it's the placemats on my kitchen table. Yeah. Right? We have this. I'll just hold it up and you can point.
So there's a lot of red in that. And then there's also a lot of green, and there's a lot of the beige. But if you actually look at the ratio of the number of, I mean, look, this might just be how I'm seeing an image. The percentage of the beige is a little bit more than the percentage of the green, which is a bit more than the percentage of the red. And so when you look at it visually overall, it has that really gentle, nice visual appeal to the eye. It's not too busy. It's not, you know, heavy. It just has a really nice balance to it. I hope I made sense.
No, I think that makes perfect sense.
Oh, good. I've never heard anyone speak like that about it, but that's just, I notice when I'm looking at things what my brain starts to do with the colours, and, we need to dye that.
You can make a skein called Gayan's Placemats.
Yeah. Don't laugh. You'll probably receive something in the mail.
Oh, I think that's about it. But I want everybody to know where they can find you.
So, Bombjarns' website, www.bombjarns.com.au. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I've been encouraged to up my Pinterest, and I've been encouraged to go on TikTok, and I've been encouraged to go on here and that, and I'm like,
I know. I managed to get a page on Blue Sky. Have you tried Blue Sky?
No,
yet?
I can't
got a
even manage
page.
my own social media.
I know. Sometimes it's hard. How about events?
Loads of events. So every month I always open an event for Stitch and Yarn once a month at my studio.
Oh.
Yes, so that's really lovely. People come with their own projects, and I try and get teachers down, and in fact when we were at the show I was working on one of them in particular. Mm-hmm. If you're watching, you know who you are.
I don't.
And hopefully whenever we get visitors into Australia, I can, I've been approached and we can get them down there as well.
Yeah, and that would be a really fun weekend away. Hint, hint to all my yarn friends out there.
Yeah!
Right?
Yeah, totally.
And I'm looking forward to seeing your yarns in person this year at the Australian Sheep and Wool Show.
Yes, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I will be a bit warmer this time.
Good. It was cold in that shed last year. It was freezing.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, my husband offered me his heated jacket before I left Hobart, and I was like, I don't need that. I got wool. And then of course there was Jared and Alicia wearing theirs, and I was like, yeah, go right. I had my literally blanket on at one stage.
Oh dear.
James from Bellevue was laughing at me. I'm so cold.
Look, whatever gets you through, right?
Yeah. But yeah, with the winds blowing in through there, it was pretty fun.
It was really cold. Especially on the Saturday, I think, was freezing.
Yeah, and it was raining. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But we all are having fun inside and laughing at ourselves, aren't we?
It's the best yarn show, I think.
Yeah, and seeing people, and I just love that. And like when you came to visit, and Kelly, and it was just, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It kind of boosts our spirits as a community because we're all together in the same thing. But yeah.
And then I'm just thinking, like, the first time we met was actually in the United States.
I think face to face.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Like you do?
I know. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning of the show, right?
That's all right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. If you're in Hobart, whether you're there full time or on a visit, you can go see Sarah.
Yeah, and people often will message and say, I'm not around on Tuesday and Thursday, am I able? And I'm always there working, so yeah, I can, sneak you in.
Private appointment.
Yeah, that's right. VIP.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Well, thank you for what you do.
Oh,
yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, and for inviting me to join you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For saying such nice things. Yeah. And thank you for joining us.
I know, Henrietta says happy knitting as well.
Yeah.
Just anything that we talked about or links to Bombed Yarns will be in the description box below.
Thank you.
If you have liked this episode, please give it a thumbs up or beaks up.
Yeah.
Henrietta. And consider subscribing so you can have more amazing yarny content and interviews with wonderful people like Sarah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you.
Take care. Bye.